I stopped by my local Harley Davidson dealership, which is called All American. Great people here. I wanted to test ride again. This is like, I think, my third time I've been on it. The Pan America. And I wanted to play around with sport mode, actually, because the times I did it before, I was only in road mode and rain mode. And let me tell you what, after running about 20 miles on that thing, insane. That's going to be my favorite mode for sure. But as I was riding, something kind of popped in my head, and it was more along the lines of, will this bike be accepted into the Harley Davidson culture? And today I want to get your take on it.
It's Colin. I got home from the dealership and my daughter came up to me and says, can we go for a ride? And I looked around and said, uh-oh, the clouds are coming in. But why not? So she is on the back of the bike right now. We're going to try to beat this rain. So what words are synonymous with Harley culture? Nostalgia, freedom, adventure riding. So I have a friend, and he used to be my neighbor, and he moved away a couple years back. But he's the one that actually got me into Harley Davidson. And at the time, this was back around 2006, he had a V-Rod. And I took the V-Rod for a spin, loved it, went to the Harley dealership, and ended up buying a Fat Bop. But I remember him telling me at the time that he received a lot of hate or a lot of negativity towards that bike because it was different. Now, fast forward a decade or so later, and then Harley, now it's completely apples and oranges on this one, but still, it was a different bike. They came out with the live wire, right? So, and that bike triggered so many freaking people. And I actually test rode that bike once. It's badass to ride. It was fun as hell. It's not practical, to say the least. And the price tag's abhorrent. I think it was 30 grand. You know, funny now, live wire and V-Rod both gone. Well, technically the live wire is still around. It just got spun off to a different company. Now it's no longer branded by Harley Davidson. It's just the live wire. But it got me thinking when I was on that ride, will the Pan America be accepted into that Harley culture, unlike the live wire or even the V-Rod was? Now that was his opinion, but I still agree a lot of people didn't have the highest regard for the Pan America and that Revolution engine when it came out at the time. Now all of a sudden we have a Revolution Max on the Pan America. And I'm purchasing it. I'm getting one. It's coming in a couple weeks. I've already got it. I just have to wait for the color. I'm getting that Gauntlet Gray special, not the orange and white one. So once that comes in, I'll be totally stoked. But anyway, so I started thinking, you know, you go to these rallies or whatnot, or even hog meetings. Now, I'll tell you, my hog chapter is really cool. But are you going to get grief, or are people going to look at you differently because you're not coming in wearing leather? You're not decked out in traditional Harley gear. You are essentially coming in with a totally different style of bike, ADV. Definitely not the look. Will you hurry up? Okay, now there you go with the turn signal. Oh, these trucks, they kill me. But it's just not your traditional Harley. And, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen. I really don't. I was looking at some of the forums. So they have those forums. You know, I'm sure some of you guys follow them, like on Facebook or whatever, the Harley Davidson one, Milwaukee 8, Street Glide Special. I'm in a lot of those. But I started looking at the ADV ones, like the ones that I'm not normally a part of. And then when you think of, like, traditional ADV riders, a lot of them are kind of, let's just say they're not pro-Harley. You know, these are the BMWs, the KTMs, the Ducatis, Hondas, the main players that have a market share in the ADV market, right? And when I went on these, and, you know, you look up Pan America, and then you get a bunch of varying opinions. And it kind of caught me off guard, because when I first went in, I was thinking it was probably going to be 80-90% pure hate. But actually, there was a lot of positivity. I'd say probably it was split down the middle. But there were a lot of people that said the same typical stuff. It's a Harley. Whenever it succeeds, it sucks, blah, blah, blah. It's ugly as hell. And adventure bikes, let's be honest, they're not known for their looks, even the Pan America. One comic, I thought this was funny as hell. I remember reading this, I don't know if it's an exact quote, but something along the lines of whoever designed the front end of the Pan America was probably thinking to themselves, this person has a great personality and fun at parties, and if they wear thick enough ADV goggles, they won't know how bad it is. It cracked me up. It just reminded me of beer goggles. But anyway, a lot of people were very positive too. A lot of people thought, hey, Harley did their homework. Harley did some good things about it. But you have your typical kind of anti-Harley guys. Then I go over to the Harley Davidson page, and it was refreshing. I mean, honestly, I didn't think I'd see this, but 90%, I'd say majority, 90, even 95, were this pro Pan America. Were actually very positive about it. I mean, there were people that saying it's not my style, I don't dig it, but it's a good ride. It's something that's good for the company. It's something that's good for Harley Davidson. But a lot of people were saying, hey, you know what, this is great. I think Harley did their homework on it. You're obviously seeing a lot of videos on this Pan America, and you're hearing tons of positives about it. You still have some people that think it's going to fail. I mean, we know that. There's people out there that actually probably want it to fail because they can't change. And that's the thing, is sometimes you're going to get these old school bikers that no matter what, if they come out with a different style of bike that's not true Harley Davidson, they're going to wish kind of it to fail, and that sucks. You know, I'm the type of guy, and I've always been this way. I mean, yes, do I like Harleys? Absolutely. Am I a brand snob? No. Is that all I've ever owned? Absolutely. I love the bike. I love how it rides. I'm one of those guys that really enjoys it. About a year ago, I was actually looking into the ADV market, and I was looking at KTMs. I was seriously contemplating getting a KTM because I'm that guy that maybe falls into the demographic, if there is one. Someone probably in middle age, 40 to 60. My wife calls me midlife adventure boy. No, that's not going to be the new name of my channel, just saying, so don't even think about putting that in the comments. But anyway, like 40 to 60 range, either first or second bike. This is obviously going to be my second bike. I'm keeping this one in the garage. I've always wanted to do ADV riding. That has been like a passion for a while, that I want to do different, where I could do street, and if I want to do a little off-road, or do some moto camping and try something a little bit different, because you only live once, right? So I'm going to try it. I'm going to enjoy it, and that's my mantra. But back to what I was saying is, everybody, two wheels are two wheels. So if you've got two wheels, unless you're a dick, I respect everybody on two wheels. That's how I am. Unfortunately, look at that. Isn't that pretty out there? That's the Patuxent River. So it's about to come down hard here in a second. It's only about, 10 miles from my house? We're not too far away from my house. We're surrounded by water where I live. But as I was saying, the two wheels are two wheels. So I'm happy with anybody that rides. I just don't see the need to kind of go through and say, this bike's not going to fit into your culture. And I want to get your guys' take on it. I want to see that, do you honestly think it'll fall the lines of like the V-Rod or the Livewire, where this bike will not be successful, but more importantly, will it fall into where people will not accept this from a Harley culture? That if you show up at these places and you're going to be looked kind of down upon. And I have thick skin, man. I don't care. I really don't. I mean, I'm on YouTube, so you got to have thick skin. And it's funny. And this is no disrespect towards the people that wrote these, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I've done a couple videos on picking this bike up in a couple weeks and looking forward to it. And I had a couple comments in there that said, I'm not going to watch your channel if you put in the Pan America. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's your opinion. My take is I'm the same dude as I am on this bike, but if you tune in to watch the dash of the Street Glide Special or reviews of it, that's cool. I respect that. I mean, they weren't disrespectful in the comments at all. I replied back and said, okay. And you're going to get that. You're going to get people that just, no matter what, they can't accept, or they don't dig a certain type of ride, okay? I mean, that's part of life. You're not going to make everybody happy. But honestly, I think that this bike will fall in to the Harley culture. I feel that it will be accepted. I feel that it's a different style, but they did a lot of their homework, and it's a cool bike. It really is. I mean, it's fun to ride. It's an absolute blast. It can do, obviously, a lot of different things that this bike can't do. It's different from the standpoint of the engine, obviously. It's high revving versus, it has some low end torque, but it's obviously, you're shifting at that 6,000-7,000 mark versus this one where you're shifting at 3 to 4. So it's a different engine altogether. I'm still the same dude, you know, and I want to get your guys' take.
At the end of the day, whichever side you fall on, I'm happy as hell that I'm getting this bike, and I can't wait to get it, take it out for many miles. Now get out there and ride, everybody. Be well, and I'll talk to you guys soon.